Hello everybody, this is Nikki again. So today I'm gonna be talking about God knows what again, because that's what I do. I just feel like I'm gonna record something and I come in and I record, and whatever pours out of me, that's what you get. By the end of the podcast I usually forget what what was the meaning of the whole thing, because it's almost like I'm channeling these messages one after another, and they intertwine. And as I said, it's very hard for me to then write the description, so whatever I write in the description is not gonna be the only thing that you're gonna get. It's gonna be somewhere. It's gonna likely in the description you'll get a few lines on something that I remembered but at the end of it, out of the whole thing. So it's always so much more than what it says in the description, but you know, it's if you're resonating with the messages, it's awesome. As I said, you know, I'm not a teacher, I'm not here to preach, I'm just talking about things that come to my head, and I do feel like if they only stay in my head or in my personal journals, they get wasted, because some of the things that come into my head at times are like proper genius. And I'm not saying that I'm genius, I'm just saying they just pop in my head, and that's why I'm so comfortable to say it's channeling. So it comes from somewhere. Definitely I would not come up with half of it. It just comes to my head like walking. The other day, yesterday actually, I went out for a walk. I have woods not far from me, a really nice park, and I was walking there, and I just these thoughts started coming into my head about one very precious person to me, and how he just tries to avoid any kind of work on himself, just tries to get everything from other people. So he's always looking, and there's actually a lot of people like that, to be honest, but I was thinking about him particularly yesterday, and actually because I was thinking about him, I actually recorded a message to him, which I thought whatever I said in that message to him, I feel like I need to share with you as well, because it was definitely something extraordinary for me to even think of. But so let's dive right into it. So basically the message was that the reason why nothing is working in your life, if you're currently in a position, or you know someone who's in a position where everything seems to be going the wrong way for them, even though they're trying so hard, they're working so hard, they're putting all the effort, they're running around like headless chickens and doing this and that and that and that, and everything is just, it's like one brick wall after another, after another, after another, and they just start cursing life and the universe and gods of all kinds and whatever, the industry, the society, everything. Nothing's working, demographics is shit, like it's crisis, there's COVID, there's another something pandemic coming, it's this and that and that, they're full of fears, and they're even irrational. They start moaning, or you do start moaning when people are cornered like this. They kind of get into survival mode. When nothing is working in their favor, they tend to get into the survival mode, and in the survival mode you just allow fear to take over, because you're in the panic all the time. Imagine if you were somewhere in the jungle in the actual survival mode, every single sound would freak you out, right? So it's something is coming after me, you know, I need to somehow, you know, I can't sleep at night because something is gonna get out of those bushes and eat me and blah blah blah, and you just get paranoid about everything. But then you're not in the fucking jungle, dude. You are like on this planet in the society, most likely, where nobody's gonna attack you out of the bushes, depending where you live, obviously, but it's irrational. And also, as I said, with law of attraction, whatever you fear of, that's what you call for. So if you're gonna sit there and say, oh my god, this is gonna, oh my god, I'm gonna lose the job, oh now COVID hits, I'm sure, I really struggled last time with COVID, I'm gonna just be completely fucked if it hits me again, oh I can't have another booster, oh it's this and that and that, oh well, there's no way I'm gonna make it, I booked some time off from work to get this holiday, there's no way I'm gonna be able to afford it, there's this and that, it's just all negativity, paranoia, some shit, anything irritates you when you're in that mode, everything is a trigger, and you just feel like, why isn't anything working? It's because you're fucking not working, dude. Just stop doing things, right? Because you're overworked, clearly. Overworking gets you in the survival mode. When you're in survival mode, you get paranoid about everything, and you just radiate that panic, that anxiety, that stress into the universe. So what you get, the same back. So it's just like a vicious circle, and it's never gonna end unless you're gonna fucking stop. Just stop, because you're generating that wheel, the hamster wheel. You're generating it, so you are that fucking hamster. If that hamster stops, the wheel stops, right? It's just, logics. Stop it. You want it to stop, you can stop it. You may get fucking smashed out of the wheel into your little hamster house and stuff like that, hurt yourself a bit and stuff, but at least it will stop, at least you're gonna stop running. Okay, isn't it worth it? As I said, you're walking around the brim of this hole, just fucking jump in, because you're sliding every step of the way, you're sliding on the edges. I talked about it in one of the podcasts as well, so it's nothing worse than kind of waiting for a disaster. Just do it. Just, are you happy now? No. Okay, so just, it's worth it then, because if you're not happy now and you don't know whether you're going to be happy if you're going to stop and get out of the hamster wheel, take chances, because what you're going to lose will be unhappy. Well, at least you're not running anymore, because you're already unhappy and running, so that makes you unhappy squared. It's just it. In every situation in your life, you need to learn to take accountability. And to me, I never had a problem taking on accountability. My problem was the exact opposite. I took too much accountability. So if my partner is not happy, it's my fault. So what am I not doing? How can I do this? Blah, blah, blah. It was somehow my responsibility to make him happy. And if my family is, I don't know, they're all friends or family, they're upsetting me, but if I'm gonna fight back, it's gonna create more chaos, so I would just keep quiet. And it's just, I was like taking way too much on. So that was and some of you may relate to that actually, but I still had something new to learn when I came across law of attraction, where it makes so much sense that you have to take accountability for whatever is not working in your life. What are you not doing? What is this shadow work that you have to do? Shadow work is something deep that you need to heal, that you're trying to avoid. In very simplistic terms, as I said, I'm no guru on anything. It's just my perspective on things. So things that stick to my head and make sense, I share with you. And sticks that require more research, I usually just say go and research. But anything you hear from me and you think I'm, completely making it up, or way much more than that, and that I'm interpreting it in an incomplete way, in some way, shape, or form, feel free to share in the comments, or just don't curse at me. just say that, it's all for, if you have something to say to add to what I'm saying already, we're all here to just share. So just share. Don't need to trash me. Don't need to trash anybody else. You know better, or you know more. Just say it from your perspective, and let's all be inclusive. Okay? So that was a bit of a side note. So basically, when in that situation, if you or someone you know is in that situation where everything is spiraling out of control and nothing's working and everything's fucked up and it's just you can't catch a break, you are the only one who can catch a break. So why are your finances failing? Like, if it's finances failing, why are your finances failing? What are you doing overspending? Have you got too many credits? Have you not looked at your balances and your minimum payments and all sorts of things for like 3 years, and now you're wondering why you're paying so much every month? Because you haven't looked ever. And make those arrangements and try to avoid extra costs and stuff like that, just so it's not that it's not your job's responsibility to make sure that you can afford things. So you can't just go and say, oh, I can't afford my credits, there's no money left for me after 2 days post my payday, because all the credit cards are eating up my spare cash as such, and I got nothing left to do. So I have a shitty, so that's why my job is shitty. They don't pay me enough. I can't afford this. No, man, it's not the job's fault. It's you not managing your money. It's just, effectively, or, you're living beyond your means, and just, it's not job's responsibility. It's not your partner's responsibility. It's nobody's responsibility. It's yours. So take accountability for what you're not doing that's causing you to struggle with the money. If it's relationship and you're never happy and your partner is doing things and everything seemed to be working out for them and blah blah, and it somehow upsets you because you're not in that place, it's the goal is not to get your partner down with you moaning and just being an asshole to them. The goal is for you to see how you can jump on that higher frequency with them. So they clearly somehow removed you from the picture if you're, if they're happy and you're down, because not removed you from the picture, but they focused on themselves. So, because if you have a partner who's always low and always annoyed and always complaining and always in that victim mentality where everybody else, everything is always everybody else's or everything else's fault but theirs. If you have a partner like this, the only way for you to not to get down is to somehow disconnect yourself from them. So I've done that when I was in a relationship where I used to escape at work and just completely, I'm just doing my own thing there, and that kept me going in the relationship for that long, because you just go somewhere else and you recharge, because you're completely not talking about that person. You're not concerned about whether they've whether you're gonna be back home to cook them dinner and stuff like that. It's just, that's the only way. And sometimes that leads to taking another step and eventually leaving them. Or it could be a teamwork, but that person that is down in the relationship, let's say, if we're using that example, the person that is down needs to first of all realize that it's not their partner's responsibility to make them happy, and it's definitely not your job, motherfucker, to get that person down because you're down, because they're not down because they've done the work and you're not doing it. You're avoiding it and blaming everybody else. So take accountability for what you're not doing in relation to what's not working in your life. So as I said, it could be the finances, the relationships, the jobs, anything really, anything. So, or even, like a biggie right now, it's like you sit on social media so much and you watch the news and you watch telly and you watch TV shows, and then you watch some crime series on Netflix and it's all evil and it's all about serial killers and something lurking in the dark, and you're in that mindset where everything's a mess anyway in your life, and you're just consuming mindlessly, like completely unconsciously consuming more negativity. You got your radio on and they go, oh my god, there's these monkeypox. I don't know what's going on. Oh, is this happening and this happening? Oh, electricity prices are going up. Oh, there's no fuel in the country though. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And you just go, you can it stresses you out. But then what's the constant in this whole thing? The only thing, so everything else, the information flows and everything is in your control, out of your control, everything's spinning around you, you're spiraling and boom, 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 boom. What's at the center of all of this, man? It's you. So everything is your choice. So you chose not to do anything about your finances. You chose to stay at the shitty job that you don't enjoy. You chose to turn that radio on instead of some meditation music or nothing at all, just to stay with your thoughts and deal with it. You chose to watch telly and just come back from work and just be a vegetable in front of a couch because you're just so completely drained. And I've been there many years, for many years, because when you waste your energy in places or being surrounded or allowing people who don't actually match your vibe or raise your vibe into your life to be there constantly, you are losing your energy to a point where you become this vessel that just operates on autopilot. Basically, you don't have any energy to do anything creative, to have any aspirations. You're just numb to life, to the joy, to the passion of anything. You're just numb, like completely numb. You wake up in the morning, you don't even know how you dressed up because you just done it on autopilot. You go brush your teeth, you eat breakfast or don't. You go to work, it's around, next thing you know, you look at the clock and it's 11 already, and you don't know where those 3 hours have gone because you came in and you were just sitting in front of your screen and doing things. You realize that you don't even need to turn your brain on to even be there, to exist around other people. It's not just when you're alone, right, getting dressed and everything. It's one thing when you reach a point where hours disappear in a good way. When you're doing something creative and what you're passionate about, then you're just in the flow with the universe, with the creative energies. That's when it's okay when the hours disappear. When you're somewhere where you don't feel happy, when you're somewhere where you're just losing the energy and the hours disappear, that's when you're around people and there's action and there's interaction and you're running meetings and stuff like that, but you're not really there. That's when you're like full on autopilot. So there's no you left anymore. Like, who are you anymore? Are you just a sum of all the things that need to happen in a day? Are you just like, I don't know, you're just like this tool that is walking, talking tool that gets things done. It's like you're mindless. It's like you're programmed to do something. If you don't even have to switch your brain on, just think about it. It's scary. And if you then come back home and you can't switch off your brain because it's overworked, even though, was your brain actually working, or were you just doing things and you just, because your brain was never switched on during the day, that's why you feel fatigued, because it's unnatural not to have your brain switched on. You're a human, right? You're here to create, to live, to be passionate, to enjoy life, to want things, to learn things and stuff like that. If you're just doing, your brain never got to switch on that day. So then you come home and you turn on the telly, which numbs your brain from even switching on, even if I wanted to. And then you go to bed and you can't sleep because there's so many things running through your head, because you finally turned everything off and lay down, and then your brain was like, what the fuck? How am I in bed already? Where did the day go? What's happening? What have we eaten today? What's happening? Where was I all day? How did we have the whole day and I wasn't there? And then you get these thoughts are coming into your head. Oh, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. Oh my god, this panic before you sleep. And you don't, because you were so numb all day, you don't understand where it's coming from. So I just told you where it's coming from, and your brain woke up. So what do you do then? You try to kill it. Go back to sleep. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. I need to sleep because tomorrow we need to do the same. So that's what you say to your brain, and then your brain switches off. Only if you numb it enough with the Netflixes and the series and scrolling, like mindless scrolling with some, I don't know, playing games, whatever, you just exhausted to a point where it just goes, I don't know, you're not listening, I'm just gonna, oh fuck it, I'll just reboot. So I think, yeah, it's really scary, and I'm sure many people will relate to that, because I can relate to that. And then even when you do realize that, but you don't take accountability for living mindlessly, right? Because the only way for you, after you realize that, to actually improve your life in any way is to start living mindfully. So that includes meditation, my love, and journaling, or just going outside and just being present in the moment. I don't know how, without getting into meditations or listening to some frequencies and stuff like that, I don't know how you can switch off. So I can't advise you on that. Not switch off, switch on to a present moment. So, because that's how I learned it. So it was one of the first meditation that I ever tried, I think. I know I tried a few and they just really annoy me. Voices annoy me, just like my voice annoys you right now, especially if I'm triggering something. You just fucking hate me. Just turn me off. I'm not telling the truth. There's nothing relevant here. Go watch Netflix. But one of the ones that really helped me was on the Headspace app, and it was called Walk It Off. It's 13-minute meditation, and it's when you're really on the edge and you're just like, everything's fucking, like you're almost on the brink of having a panic attack, or just bursting and just basically punching somebody in the face. So that's when it's really great, and that's when I realized how powerful meditations can be. So basically, you're really kind of on fire, you're ready to fight, you're just, everything's annoying, you're ready to quit your job and your partner and everything, and you're ready to smash your fucking head into the wall. Whatever you feel like, really agitated, you put your headphones on, and the lady goes, so as you walk now, think about the soles of your feet. How does it feel against the ground? And you go, fucking feet. My life is falling apart, you bitch. So you can have that chapter with yourself. It's like, fucking feet. And then if you stick to it, she kind of tells you to go faster and slower and clench your fists and release it. And after those 13 minutes, honestly, you're as zen as anything, and I don't know how. So the first time it actually helped me, it was at the lunch break, and I remember thinking, how can this be? How can something so idiotic and minuscule, even, how can something as stupid as thinking about how your feet, soles of your feet feel against the ground, how can that help? It's because it brings you to the present moment. It brings your mind to focus on, not on everything that's going on in your head and the chaos and what will happen, what happened, what is happening, and blah blah blah. No, you're in there in the moment in your own body. So not only you're present in the moment, you actually, if you're thinking about your feet, you're actually present in your body as well. And when she says, how does it feel against the ground, you really kind of ground yourself then, and you just think, it's just so good. It just feels so good. You just calm down and you're like, okay, and you just find your center of gravity within yourself, and then nobody can knock you off that. It's just anything can happen. You're just like, well, I'm not spiraling, so whatever you say, it's gonna have to go on my to-do list. And then somebody comes at you and says, oh, we need to do this by 5 o'clock and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, whatever, put it on the list. I'll see if I can get it done. If I can't, I can't. So, you just kind of, it becomes okay to say no, because you actually grounded yourself somewhere instead of spiraling all directions. Because when you're spiraling all directions, the reason why you're spiraling in the first place is because you don't say no. You just take on everything somebody says jump, and you're jumping because you're just too stressed to even think whether you're capable of jumping. Maybe you have no legs. How are you gonna jump? There's no time to think about it. If somebody says to jump, you're fucking jumping, right? Oh man, that was a bad example. I should really start editing these. Oh man. Okay, so moving on. Another thing that would really not help in the situation when you're down, mate, is comparing yourself to others. So when you're really down and you kind of feel like you can't tell anyone about what's happening because they have it so much worse, or they had it so much worse, and your problems are too small to even tell them, and maybe your highest paid, the most successful person with family and all the, in traditional sense, someone who's wealthy, who has beautiful wife or husband, who has kids, goes on holidays, and has a nice car, I suppose you are at the top, right? So who are you gonna moan? If everybody else in your family are working from paycheck to paycheck, and who are you gonna moan to, right? So if somebody has cancer, if somebody has their parents dying in the hospital somewhere, who are you gonna moan to? Everybody have their own problems, so you can't really complain to anyone about anything. It's like living in the north, like a very, very north of Norway, and then somebody from Spain is complaining about a rainy day. You're just gonna go, fuck off. Like, I don't have daylight for half of the year. Are you actually gonna and I'm like frozen, I have to unfreeze my mug every morning to even have a coffee, and you're moaning about a rainy day. To me, fuck you, basically. So it's trying to compare yourself to someone else. It's like it's like, it's so stupid. How can I put this? Comparing yourself to someone else is like being in a circle but judging yourself for not having any sharp corners. Well, you're not meant to have any sharp corners. You're a fucking circle. So why would you see what I mean? Why would you put yourself in the bracket as the other people? You're not them. You are you. Your life is yours to live. So it's idiotic. As I said, as if you're a circle judging yourself for not having sharp corners. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Stop doing it. Just stop. It makes no sense. It doesn't help your anxiety levels. It drains the energy out of you. So today's lesson of how to claim your energy back is to take accountability. Don't judge yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. just stop. Stop running in that hamster wheel. And just stop. And be present in the moment. And see what happens. That's all you gotta do, my love. That's it for today. Thank you. I love you loads.